Has anyone else ever been really disappointed in the Chanel vintage quality? Since to me it feels like everyone is praising it. Hi and very welcome. My name is Mary, this is my channel Lumi Level Up, and I'm a luxury lover on an average income trying to be more mindful with my money. We will talk Chanel in this video. I want to share my experience with you, how I bought my very first Chanel bag and why I ended up selling it. A few weeks ago I uploaded my 5 designer handbag regrets, and for many of you it has been a big surprise that my black jumbo caviar leather single flap Chanel bag was included. So many people praise the classic Chanel bags, and unfortunately I cannot agree too much. I don't want to offend anyone, but I myself didn't make the best Chanel experiences. Many of you were interested to hear more about my single flap, and that video on that particular bag will follow for sure. If you haven't watched my 5 designer handbag regrets video by now, I will link that video down in the description box and at the end of this video. So you can check it out and hear why I don't like my classic Chanel flap. What nobody on YouTube knows by now, this has not been my first Chanel. There has been another one, and I want to share my Chanel experience with you right from the start. To sum it up, I just really didn't like the quality of the first bag I got, and it was a vintage one, when quality seemingly has been way better. At least that's what I heard over and over again, but I cannot agree. But first things first. Owning a Chanel bag has been my dream for years. I plan on filming a video on my luxury shopping journey, so you can get a better insight where I come from and how far I've come and my future plans, which part of is being more mindful with my spendings. You might consider subscribing if that's something you're interested in, kind of my background. And of course, the one and only I wanted to own was a classic flap. The prices have been too high for me even about 10 years ago, when I started my luxury bag journey, since of course I had a way smaller income back then. If Chanel prices were still the same today as they have been about 10 years ago, things would be way more affordable for me now, but sadly, as we all know, they aren't. And I have regretted multiple times that I didn't save up for it earlier and have gone for some flap bags directly from store. But it's too late now to cry for spilled milk and have these kind of regrets by now. So, when I got somewhat more comfortable with spending on luxury and I had a little Louis Vuitton collection built up, I started to look out for my very first Chanel bag. Yet still, it was way too expensive for me, brand new from store. So I started looking pre-loved. At that point, the flap bags were too expensive pre-loved as well. That's why I started to look out for a bargain. And in terms of Chanel, nearly every bag under $1,000 is a bargain if the condition is not totally beaten up, or if it's a teeny tiny micro bag made out of fabric. And most likely beaten up as well if it is under 1,000. So when I found a timeless black lambskin vintage shopper tote in 2017 for under $1,000, I thought this would be the one for me. Sadly, I cannot show you that bag live in this video, since I ended up selling it long before I even planned to start a YouTube channel. That's why I put the single flap in the thumbnail, to have at least something to hold up for you. But I still have the pictures that I used selling my very first Chanel bag, so we can still have a closer look. Why did I get it? The bag was listed as very good condition and I liked the price. As mentioned, everything under $1,000 seemed like a great price for a Chanel purse. And since it's a tote, it's quite a lot of purse, quite a lot of leather for the price. I thought you can never go wrong with a black bag, and the style seemed very timeless to me. Not screaming Chanel too much, because it only had a very small tag with the logo, yet still with iconic Chanel elements like the chain handles and the quilting. So not too much of a bad choice for a first Chanel bag, right? Unfortunately, wrong! As soon as I got the package and opened it, I was disappointed. Not that there has been anything wrong with the bag, but I simply expected Chanel magic I don't even know what exactly I was expecting, but I simply had higher expectations, thinking if Chanel is so hyped and everyone is praising it, even the quality of their vintage bags, and what I got was just an old piece of leather tote. I wasn't amazed by the quality at all. Even though there was no real damage that would cause the bag not to be in very good condition, it was kinda out of shape and it just felt really old to me. In the beginning, I even had some doubts if this bag is actually real, since the bag charm tag didn't seem very symmetrical and high quality to me. Even the handles were just not perfect. Maybe anymore, because they were kinda dissolving. I was disappointed. But since the bag is from the 1980s, so 30 to 40 years old when I got it, it didn't keep up too bad. I have to admit that the leather itself, the condition and the quality of it has been pristine, but not all the details of this bag and the inner workings. It kinda hurt me that I paid nearly $1,000 for a bag that just felt old to me. I know, nowadays $1,000 is not even that much to pay for a luxury designer handbag. But that has been nearly about 5 years ago. And I thought to myself, I could have gone for a brand new Louis Vuitton bag for just a little bit more back in 2017. And a friend of me, she had a Zara leather tote that was kind of the same vibe with the chains and quilting for way less than $100. She even got it in sale for about €50, and to this day she still got that purse and uses it. That's why I could even get a picture for you. And that shows the Zara bag held up quite well as well. I could have gone for that one and get a brand new Chanel bag charm from the boutique and still would have saved hundreds, if there are bag charms available. I look out for these every now and then, and it seems like Chanel doesn't sell key or bag charms too often. But anyways, I wasn't happy with that purchase right from the start. It felt like a disappointing waste of money, and it didn't even feel fair to me to resell the purse for the price I got it, because the overall condition just didn't feel very good to me, even though there has been nothing about the bag to point out. So I wore that bag every now and then, since it is quite carefree, the leather wears really well, and there is no danger of color transfer or anything. But I never enjoyed that bag the way I thought I would enjoy a Chanel bag. My first Chanel bag. I held onto it for nearly 4 years since it's Chanel, and prices are only going up. I was kinda emotionally attached to it since it has been my very first Chanel bag, because my very first Louis Vuitton bag still has a very special place in my heart, even though I hardly wear it. But since I didn't love the Chanel tote right from the start, it just didn't feel right to me. I decided at the beginning of this year to give it a try at the resale market, with listing very detailed everything I didn't like about it. The handles and the details of the stitching from the tag, and that it was kinda out of shape. I asked for a price that would get me my money back, since even the prices on very used pre-loved Chanel bags have gone up a lot. So I felt more confident with the price, even when I didn't love the quality of this bag to begin with. And it sold quite fast in terms of selling a $1,000 bag. Usually it might take some time, and I think it was listed for not even 2 months when it sold. So kind of a happy ending for me. I've been able to use this bag for 4 years and still get my money back. But it was a huge learning for me as well, since saving money on a bag is not always the best option when you end up with something that is not 100% what you initially wanted, and you are just not fully happy with it. That's why about 1 year later I gave Chanel another try, this time directly going for the piece that I thought would be my holy grail handbag. The Chanel Jumbo Caviar Leather Flap Bag. And yet again, I got disappointed. To find out why, you can watch the 5 designer handbag regrets video that I already mentioned, or you wait for the more detailed video yet to come about that particular bag. Do you own any Chanel vintage bags? If so, how old are they? And have you ever felt disappointed about them as well? Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next time, and bye! Teeny tiny micro bed to make a euro back in 2017. Here is the video mentioned. I decided not to go for a so-called end card anymore, because that feels kinda boring to me. So from now on I will try to leave you a little recommendation what to watch next. And of course I would highly appreciate if you would consider to subscribe.